how we should beg Allah, how we should see Allah. Not one time did the Prophet bring attention to himself. He gave all praise and credit to Allah. He gave all power to Allah. And this is the prayer that the Prophet said in his prayer. This Tajahud prayer. This is a prayer to remind us who is in control, who has the power. So we won't forget. We won't forget that today I might be all right. But Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, the things I do in secret, the things I do in public, the things that I did in the past, and the things that I'm going to do in the future, that I might do in the future. Because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Allah gave us his example because he said that I'm a man just like you. I'm a human being just like you. And sometimes I hear my brothers, they give khutbahs or they say things like kafirs, those disbelievers. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said to us, if he was to punish, if he were to punish those that sin, it would not be one human being left on the planet. That includes me and you. So when we start talking about qualifying other people to be disbelievers, kafirs, how do you know? How do you know? Only Allah knows. Only Allah is the true judge. Because you have people, like I read this ayat, you have people have been deluded, been given false imaginary. And they're not even aware that they're receiving false information. They're not even aware, like you and I, and we have to pray constantly, like Rasulullah. He said, I have a jinn too, but I made my jinn a Muslim. And we have to work hard. We have to work hard. We have to pray hard. We have to remember this Tajahud prayer, like Rasulullah. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he was the best example in the worship. He is the best example in the worship of Allah. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us his example. You and I. For what reason? To save ourselves, to save our souls, to save our children, to save our communities, to save the world. When Muslims made progress and when you study the history, when Muslims made progress, it's because of the morality. When Muslims went to war, the enemy noticed that every day the Muslim men used to get up and shave and wash themselves and make prayer and bury the dead instead of digging holes and burning them. They shrouded them, washed them, shrouded them. And it said it made the enemy start shaving, cleaning themselves, because they seen the Muslims demonstrating this. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, even if you have to go to China to seek knowledge, do it. But today we find ourselves, I'm not going to go over there. Those people are barbaric. I'm not going to do this. They're Catholics. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to go in that neighborhood. The Prophet ﷺ, even when people treated him with disrespect, even when they stoned him, that his sandals were filled with blood, and you could hear his feet slashing in the blood. And he had the power to send the angels to destroy all of them. Allah gave him that power to destroy all of them, just by his word. And he did it. What he did was be patient. He was patient. And he practiced. His morality was spread, even in war. Even when the Prophet ﷺ armies was getting the best in war, he always said, leave a way out for them. He said, leave a way out for them so they can escape. And when it was known that Rasulullah, in his heart, he had compassion for the women, for the trees, for the animals, for the old, and those, he said, if they don't fight with you, don't you fight with them. Do not go in and change the culture. He was so sensitive. He said, don't even go in and change the culture of the people. Don't change their identity. Don't try to make them be like you. They have their own culture. Lead them with them. So we, as Muslims, as human beings, what is the highest level that I can obtain? You ever ask yourself that question? What is the highest level of a human being I can obtain? When I was a little boy, I had fear. I had fear of my mother because she could pick up a shoe or something and hit me and punish me. I say, go in that room, or I'm not going to buy you this. She had control. I got a little older. Those licks that Ma had couldn't even affect these muscles. I could just do this and look at her and smile and laugh. Then she'll call my father. And when my father hit me, I thought lightning struck. I said, oh God. I said, when he hit me, I said, oh God, don't do that again. That was father. And the day my father now is 92 years old. And he used to tell people, he'd say, I used to beat that butt right there. But he can beat my butt now. And every once in a while I had to push him, like in a stroller, in his wheelchair. I used to fear that man. Now, he fears me. Hope that I don't hit him now. How we grow. Now, we get to the point where we say, I got money, I got power, I got all of this. I don't fear nobody. Then all of a sudden, you start losing your money. You start getting older. Then one day, all of that stuff don't work anymore. And I had a good friend of mine that I visited in the hospital. And he told me, he said, brother, and please visit the sick, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, when we visit the sick, you will find him there. And I found Allah with him. My friend told me, he said, Malik, man, he said, I think Allah had my phone with me. I fell. I couldn't even get up. And I could barely call the rescue. I struggled to put my pants on, and I couldn't even put my own pants. Couldn't put my pants on. I couldn't put my shirt on. I had to lay there. Rescue came, I didn't have clothes on. He said, man, all I wanted to do was breathe. He said, all I wanted to do was breathe. And when he got to the hospital, he told me, he said, brother, I thank Allah to breathe a breath. I thank Allah. I used to thank Allah for my shoes, my pants, my money, my health. But now I got to the point where I thanked Allah just for a breath. That's Allah. When we come to the point where our actions, our deeds, our wealth, our health is all for Allah, then we on the highest level. Before we do anything, we question ourselves. We should say, how would Allah feel? A point in my life, it was, how would my mother feel if I did that? How would my grandmother feel if I did that? How would my wife feel if I did that? When we get on the highest level, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he was the best example. Whatever he did, he said, how would Allah look at me if I did it? And we can see that in his actions. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is merciful, all merciful. Only Allah knows what's in my heart right now. Only Allah knows what's in the hearts of any human being. So only he can judge. We found that we made judgment. We sent people to jail. We sent them to other human beings to make judgment. And we find that sometimes they make mistakes. And that person is serving time because somebody made a mistake on what they did. Physical abuse, sexual abuse, disturbs the mind. And we have, in this society today, where it's gone rampant, it's gone crazy in abuse. And the reason why is because we let our guard down. And I say, I'm not talking about this guard, I'm talking about Allah. We let Allah down. We let Allah down. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He said that He will not change the condition of a people until they change it in their heart. In their heart. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Allah didn't send the Quran on His intellect. He didn't say, oh Muhammad, He said, read. And Rasulullah said, I can't read. He said, I command you to read. He said, I can't read. And when it hit him here, he read. He said, I have put it on your heart. And when you accept anything, when you take anything into your heart, it's going to be perfect. It's going to be perfect. We all had that teacher who we say, she taught me from her heart. Are we seeing the musician? He played from his heart. We've seen a basketball player, he's got his heart into it. If your heart is not right, you can read the Quran all day long, and Allah says you will not get the benefit. You will not get the benefit. And if you and I don't treat each other properly, right? I'm talking about us, me and you. I'm talking about other human beings. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created all human beings. He created all human beings. He created everything in creation. It's to be respected. Some people say, I don't like dogs. Allah created the dog. Allah created the birds. Allah created the water to be pure, to benefit us. And the most beautiful part that Allah did, He said, everything that I created in this creation is for the benefit of you and me. Now, ain't that beautiful? Everything Allah created is for our benefit. That's a beautiful God. You mean to tell me everything that I see, you created to benefit me? And when you receive the benefit, you and I are supposed to benefit others. When you see the beekeeper, he seen the bee, he said, Allah said in the bee, there's a healing. He didn't just look at it, the bee, and just say, okay, thank you, Allah. He went into the bee. He went and got the honey. He went and learned from the hive. He went and learned from how he protects his queen. And now we can taste the sweetness of honey and benefit from it. Everything that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us